What's up? Hello.
Hey,
Good
What's
afternoon.
up? You see, we have a guest today.
we do.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Ham.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's
no
so nice
problem.
to have Ham on.
Yeah, for
It's
looking
the
for
Chad and Hammy show.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. And it's me, Ham. I'm a guest.
It's me,
Ham
Ham.
the
I'm a
scammer.
guest.
That's right. All right. So, welcome to Actually, it's the Ham and Hammy show. For more information about all of Gotham's upcoming events, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Gotham Derby, Twitter at Gotham Derby, and by searching for us on Facebook. You can also find out about events on our website, www.gothamgirlsrollerderby.com. Gotham strives to create a safe space for our participants, community, and fans, and that extends to our virtual events. We have a zero tolerance policy for any harassment, discrimination, bullying, hate speech, or abuse. Be cool and keep the chat thoughtful and fun as always. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you've been with us before, welcome back. All right, let's get to it.
Oh, I love that. If you've been here before, welcome. So you
Yeah,
obviously we have a
I feel
guest,
welcome.
or we don't. I feel like you're basically the third. Like, should just be on
Like
there.
a presence. Yeah.
You've been a present since day one.
Yeah, presents. Um, yeah, like it's nice that you say like been a presence and not been like it's like you've been a stalker since day one. Like you didn't like a hanger on since day one.
I don't.
No, I'm gonna get my derby wife to make you like a T-shirt with her silhouette that says like day oneer. Like I think that's good.
I like
Oh,
it.
that would be great.
Wait,
I
can I get a
actually
shirt
didn't
that says
start
day oneer?
watching
Yeah,
well,
day one. Yeah.
this show I started watching since day one, but the channel itself I realized was sometime back in July of last year.
Did you realize it because of your 9 month streak?
Oh wait, that actually would be it. I didn't subscribe right from the beginning though. Like,
Oh,
I'm not gonna just shell out Jeff Bezos's $4.99 on the first month. Like we're gonna see how things go.
gotta earn that dinero.
Yeah, I never thought the channel would go this long.
Neither did
Just kidding.
we.
I know it. Just kidding.
Yeah, fucking. Oop! I already did one, and it's only
Oh,
been
yeah, you
like
got
2 minutes.
one F-bomb.
Oh my Lanta, I'm
I
fired.
never get an F-bomb.
No, there's another one. There's two, and I will do my best.
And I want it to be organic as well, so I'm not just gonna like drop it now. I'm
Well-
not gonna be willy-nilly dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, don't do that.
I made the cutest little drink today, and I just felt like sharing because it's gin, and I got like lavender syrup, and I feel like a fancy person.
Okay, so I too am sipping on the gin with a cup that is customized to my other Twitch show, Wine and
can't.
Dynasty.
I
Wow,
deserve a
nice.
cup. I feel like. Also, is this the real indication of gin and Jews?
Oh my gosh, that is the best thing I've heard today. So-
I'll be drinking coffee out of this may or may not have been clean coffee mug.
That's my
That's-
usual morning where I'm like, is this clean enough? It's only been since
you
yesterday.
mean?
It's just coffee.
Yeah, it's like a cast iron pot. That's
It
well
is
seasoned.
8
You just wanna
o'clock at
drink
night.
Coffee from a cup that's maybe got a little other coffee in it.
Do you sleep?
Bullshit just asked me if I dyed my hair.
It does look lighter than I'm used to.
And then it's interesting. I did dye it, but I very first did it. It was 4 days into all of this COVID work from home. I got that bored. I'm like, I'm gonna go out of the store and buy the cheapest box of hair color that you can get. And then I kept going. But I did. Today was a banner day. It's hard to tell because I took a nap. But I went and I got a haircut today from my new hairstylist, Siren Plague, who is one of my favorite players of all time, because Siren is probably one of the best utility players I've ever come across. Can jam and block, and does so every game.
That's amazing.
That is when there's
That's high praise.
actual derby going on.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
we are
high
going to
praise.
talk about roller derby. It's only been 5 minutes.
Eventually.
Eventually, I mean,
We'll get there.
we go in and out. This is partly a roller derby show.
Yeah, I remember it started off very strictly derby. I mean, it's almost been like a year since we've had the show, but maybe we've done like 30 or so episodes.
We started in August, so we're not.
Was it August?
Yeah,
I'm totally
so
just
we're
like
not-
Not actually close to a year.
I'm totally just making stuff up now. It feels like it's been a year.
I also don't think there's any way you've had close to 30 episodes.
Like it has to be. Stop telling me facts. Get
We've
off of
only,
this
we've
show.
only. I will say
There's no
that we
way.
started in August, like mid-August, and we've only taken like 4 Tuesdays off.
I would like to say,
Oh.
in my defense, maybe like I could be I am way off with the number because I do drink during the show.
That is true.
And today I like Hammy. I'm having that gin. I'm having an elderflower gin and tonic.
I love me some
Yeah.
elderflower. I think that like I wanted to feel like that punk rock roller derbiness of like, I think that's one of the things I really enjoy about the Twitch channel, and something like Chad that, I mean, quite frankly, like we were talking about how like in our estimation, like you're the person who kind of opened up Twitch in a way that was a little more accessible for people. Like obviously WFTDA was using Twitch and like it existed, but like you did it in a way where like it was free. People could just like come and watch Derby. Like you kind of opened Twitch up to be this community space for roller derby, which meant that when we hit the Panda Hat, I'm just going to keep using it. When we hit the Panda Hat throwback joke, people had somewhere to go. Like, I think, not that I'm sure you're like feel weird about compliments or shit or take it. I don't know. But like you kind of kept Derby in a place where we could be a little punk rock and talk about the thing we love.
Well, sometimes I'm weird about compliments. And then other times I'm just like, yes, more, bring it on. But I can't take like, it was never my intention to do like, to open it up like it has. Really what started me on Twitch was that I hated streaming live on YouTube so much. It's just I just think it's a garbage platform. And I watched a lot of Twitch, and I was already streaming on Twitch. I actually streamed video game content, which was not all that entertaining. And then I decided, I could probably do this over here, and it would work better. The chat functionality, which we've all come to know and love so much, is just there's more community, and it was just a funner place to be. So that's what started that, and then when Panda Hat started getting like it wasn't gonna go away in a week like we were promised. I said I gotta just find more things to do. Since then, I've become sort of bored of streaming my own old games, so I haven't been streaming lately. But there's all kinds of other exciting things that have happened as a result of that.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
can sit back on the porch and just relax and watch the kids play in the yard.
I think that's pretty cool. Like, if anything, like the amount of inspiration that you can kind of like, listen, Pop Culture Co-op came because I started doing this, which I always blame GT for, but that came because you were doing it, and like overall, like all of these different people are now involved in a whole new space. So I think that's really, really cool. Chad, can you raise your sound volume? You're a little soft.
It's probably because I'm just soft-spoken in general, but I certainly can turn it up.
And I'm going to also do that, which everyone can watch me do because it ruins
You're going to do it on yours or on mine?
No, you should do it on yours a little bit because I can't control you separately.
Don't turn my voice up anymore. I turned it up now. It's louder.
Great.
It's loud enough that I can hear my tongue move around inside my mouth.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm going to talk funny.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I get the joy of like the live texts from my mother being like, hey.
Aw.
Which is so great.
At-home producers.
It's so helpful, quite frankly.
I could not stream if it were not for the at-home producers who come in to chat with information.
Yeah. Honestly, I think there's plenty of shows where I was completely silent for a while, and it took at-home producers to help me get the tech together. So,
right.
I also think
you can't do that if you're screaming at your TV. The TV never responds to you.
No, it doesn't listen the way that
Twitch does.
I have to say the Twitch chat has ruined my life because, like, I start talking.
Let's see where this goes.
No, like I host meetings. I'm the head of marketing at Gotham, right? Like that's my big job, and I do my like weekly Wednesday night meeting with the heads of everything. Like we do that once a month, and then I do like a check in with the entire committee once a month, just to make sure everybody's feeling seen and heard, and they know what's going on, and it's transparent. And it's been really funny because what happens is people like chat at me on the side and I start talking to them as if it's like the Zoom, like, or people like put like their like asides in the chat while you're doing it. And then I start talking to the chat and I'm like, oh my God, I'm hosting meetings like they're Twitch shows now.
I mean, I think that would make a lot of Zoom meetings at work way more bearable.
I do that a lot too at work. People will chat like a
chat.
question while like somebody's presenting and I'll like jump in. And I'm like, oh, this is horrible.
I like it. I like it.
Hey,
So,
like and subscribe.
Let me throw this information at you. What you could do if you wanted to is sort of own that. And like right now, you'll see on my view in the box, there's also like a subset view, right? Mm-hmm. I'm using the virtual camera option in OBS, so I can do things like this, and like we can swap over and look at Rue sleeping over on the side of the room. And so you can do that with your Zoom meetings.
Oh,
What?
but look at the puppies. I need to get a
God.
camera for
This is
Lily. She's sleeping
Where do
next
you
to me.
see, what role do you see Twitch playing moving forward? Like, things are starting slowly but steadily, with caution to opening up, but where do you see Twitch fitting in with everything?
So for me, Twitch is still my preferred platform for streaming. I think, I understand and support the need for like a paywall service. Mm-hmm. I've said it before, and it's not talking out of turn. When the WFTDA produces a tournament, if they do a regional or the championships, the production level on that is incredible and it looks fantastic. And that does not come without a cost. That costs a lot of money. And, they do very well to like put some of those games on Twitch to open that up. But I think that, for that level, you're going to probably see the paywall kind of happen for a while. Mm-hmm. Does it mean potentially that it could be Twitch supported? Maybe, but it's a real far stretch, right? So I think that's one of the things is I think that the majority of Derby can still happen, and Twitch is a good place for that to happen. I think we're going to see some that's going to not be on Twitch necessarily. If something better came along, I think I would even be reluctant to use it at this point, because I think the community building, which is to me the most important part about streaming on Twitch, I think mm-hmm. that's the real gold here is in that. I think the other thing that's a big component in seeing things happen on Twitch is now that we've all been kind of forced to learn how to do different things, and we've talked about this in the past a little bit. We've all been forced to learn how to do different things, and we've done so all on the same platform. So we now have hundreds of people who have gotten used to using Twitch and understand they understand that the kind of the Derby Twitch culture that's kind of come about through all of this. So I think it'll be around for a lot longer, and I think because folks like yourselves who've learned how to do stuff, you're using OBS right now. I mean, a year ago, I would have not imagined I would see so many people who become comfortable in multitasking with a chat and managing OBS and getting those streams to happen. As somebody who does so Battle of the All-Stars was the last thing that I did, and those were 14-hour days for 4 days, and I did all but maybe that. 3 games.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm already penciling you in.
I'll be there.
I know who can run OBS, so I'm just jotting notes down. this wasn't really a thing, and it very much is a thing now, and that's huge. And I think that's one of the other big things that didn't necessarily cost anything, and it's going to open up accessibility to more streams.
Absolutely. I also think also more streams turned into mushrooms on the web captioner. My favorite thing is to catch the weirdest thing. I think that like also
I love mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms are good.
I also like mushrooms. I mean, I would say that it feels a lot like blocking. Having to like, because like I do a lot of producing because I like it because I'm a control freak, and that's totally fine. But that's but that's also like blocking. It's like I'm looking at the screen and I'm having conversation and I'm looking at the chat and I'm making sure that like our sound meter is okay, and like people are texting me on the side to make sure like if there's an issue. And I really enjoy doing 12 things at once, because when you're blocking on the track, it's very similar. Like I'm looking at my everything. It's the same kind of feeling. I think a lot of Derby players would be surprised at how, like, I know that sounds really weird from like a tech perspective, but like how it's also like reading music, I think. Like it's the same kind of feeling. Like if you've ever played music and you read music, it's that like looking ahead and thinking ahead and being able to like take in information from multiple sources at once. Like I used to be a singer. I'm still a singer. I don't like not used to be because I'll hear about
You're
that.
still here.
I still like sing. They didn't take my
Right
vocal
there,
cords
see ya.
out, but I used to be like a professional singer, and that's a lot of like getting handed sheet music, and you have to sight read and look at the conductor and listen to the cues, and there's a lot going on at once. I think it's a very similar feeling, which is like a comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the other things that I like about teams being able to do things with Twitch is it puts a lot of control in the team's hands, and they can own the stream and they can own the broadcast. And things like, okay, so if you go to rebrandly.ly/goth merch, that's actually not the link anymore. That needs to be updated. I think you have a new link now.
I gotta yell at someone in the Twitch.
Wait. No,
no,
works.
I think that's the right one because we just did a new link. Oh, it's going to show up now in the chat.
Okay, so you can go there to that link and you can buy merchandise like this Gotham Roller Derby scarf.
Look at you.
Or this Gotham Roller Derby baseball tee. There might be a few left.
Our merch is also amazing, and everyone should buy it.
Quite good. It's quite
so
good. And look at that model.
Look at this model in the middle.
Supermodel work. Turn to the left.
This is like, it's something that I don't have any merch anymore, Keys. I gave all my stuff away. I lost so much money when I tried to do merch. It was dumb. I'll never do that again. Teams can do that. They can, those kind of things, can open up for them. So
I would like to say, so let's see. I started playing roller derby in China, and so that's how I became familiar with like your posts on YouTube. But there wasn't. I mean, there are two teams in China, so we really relied on what the bouts that you put up to kind of learn how to play roller derby. So shout out to and from Beijing Roller Derby. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping us. But yeah, it's fantastic. How did you get into derby?
How did I get into derby? Oh, this is a fun story.
Yes.
So we had a good friend of the family. I think this is probably 2011, 2012. And she was learning with Bangor Roller Derby and said, you should come out and watch a game. And so I went out and we watched Bangor played Paradise City out of, I think, northern Massachusetts or New Hampshire. And it was a blowout game. Bangor crushed them. But as soon as it started, I was like, this is the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen. And I saw all of these people who were owning their own sport. They were in control of things from ticket to cleaning up the track at the end of it. And I Why am I echoey? I don't know why I'm echoey.
Is he echoey for other people? Because this is the
You
first
sound
we're hearing
good to
about
me.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
you sound fantastic.
Yeah. I'll blame Bobby then. So I went to this game and couldn't believe it. I had such a good time. And then there was another game, a couple weeks later. It was probably 3 games after I said, you know what, I want more. I want more information, and so I went to the news and see what the local newspaper had to say. And of course, what did I find? I found a lot of really great, like public interest kind of fluff pieces. And I was like, "What's the scores, though? Where are the scores at? Like, give me that information." And that didn't exist. So I said, "I'm going to start tweeting it." So I would go around and I'd go to games and I would just tweet what was happening at games. And then there was a tournament that was put on by Rock Coast Rollers down at the Mid Coast Recreation Center. It was called the Main Event, and it was all teams from Maine. And that was one of the first games that Aroostook Roller Derby, which is Aroostook County, is way, way at the top of Maine. It's way up there. They went all the way down to Camden for this game. Most everybody at home had no connection to the game except what I was tweeting. So there were a lot of people really just completely engaged in that. And then a local paper up there picked up some of that information and wrote an article with it. And I thought, what else could I do? Like, what more could I do? And I went to broadcasting school. Some kids graduate high school and they go on to go to Ivy League schools. They take SATs, I guess, but
Sure.
not me. I went to the New England School of Broadcasting on the campus of Hudson College and learned how to talk on the radio. So I said, I wonder how, technology has come a long way since 1995 when I was in school. I thought maybe there's like a way that I could do that. And I started streaming audio because radio is my favorite. I would prefer to do radio than over video. Started streaming games on Mixler. And
Okay.
that just took off, and I just started going all over New England doing it. And then we're getting to the end of this long story of how did this all start. I was at a fundraiser with Team Maine, and we were watching Rose v. Gotham for championship, and one of the team members leaned over to me and said, "This is when it was on ESPN," and leaned over to me and said, "Hey, when can you start doing video?" I was like, why did you have to ask me that? So I started doing video, and
You were like, immediately, thanks for asking.
immediately, thanks. I was hoping nobody was going to mention that, but
When can
how I
you
started.
please
Yeah.
make us not use ESPN anymore?
Right, yeah. So I started doing video immediately after that.
That's
Here we
amazing.
are.
And now here we are. Do you have any thoughts
Yeah.
on, I know I have a lot of thoughts, but I like to ask, on the future of Derby coming out of the Panda Hat. And,
Yes.
yes, of course you do.
Oh, I have some real, so here's what's going to happen. It's happening already. Mm-hmm. The first thing everyone needs to know is there is a live Derby happening, and you should be watching it. And it's coming out of New
Absolutely.
Zealand. Roller Derby Streaming NZ has a game coming up that will be on the East Coast of the United States. It'll be on Thursday. I think it's a Friday game. It usually takes us all in the United States about 6 hours to figure out what time the game is actually going to be on. And we spend another 30 minutes just verifying what time it's going to be on. But NZ is doing some amazing streaming out of New Zealand. And in addition to putting on those broadcasts, the Quad Media, which is Quad Media is, if no one knows this, is the broadcast division of the WFTDA. And Ben over at Quad Media 11 days ago, he put together it wasn't the proof of concept because he had already done that, but he put together a broadcast of just an exhibition bout Pirates versus Vikings, and that stream was we'll be able to look back on that stream and say, this is when streaming became the most accessible to people, and this is when streaming roller derby took its next big leap.
It was a fantastic stream.
Amazing stream. The quality was great. Ben produced that. Like,
commentary was great.
Commentary was great. You have four. I think there were three announcers.
Mm-hmm.
Three announcers, all regionally spread all over the place.
Awesome.
And it was very seamless play-by-play. And there was, in comparison to like how much I have to go through to set up a broadcast, I can only imagine how little had to be done at the actual venue itself. Not to say that they didn't have to do a bunch to do that, but in comparison to a full-on setup with everyone there, it's an incredible difference. And Quad Media is going to be opening up. I tried to find a link to that information, and I will say this is not a message coming from the Ham and Hammy show, but WFTD and Quad Media, you've got to get your information out there, and it needs to be easier to find, because I couldn't find what I was looking for today. So talk more. That's something that teams who have a tournament that normally don't get to stream it might find that there is an opportunity to stream a tournament that we've never even seen before, because it just doesn't happen.
And there's so many tournaments. I think that people have never even heard. I mean, I skated for New Jersey for years, and we had the New Jersey B team tournaments and so many options. For me, like, I think the exciting thing coming out of this, if we're going to look for a positive, is that like there's so much more opportunity for skaters that you don't see at that like 3 games or 5 games that people really sit down to watch, getting to have time to, people work hard to play derby, you know, like people really spend their time, and it's nice that to kind of spread around that opportunity. Plus, if we're looking at location, there's tons of great skaters who just don't skate in places where that access to like a tier 1 team is.
It is not going to, this may be a surprise, but the best skaters in the world don't all play for the top 10 teams.
Absolutely.
So, hey, NZ, thank you very much for the remote studio basic information.
Ooh, so helpful.
I looked everywhere and couldn't find that.
Yeah, I hope a lot of people take advantage of that. I think that, that's information, or it's the formation of something that my team in China definitely could have made use of. So yeah, let's do it. Maybe if the Pan Asian spring rollers are still active, because I think that they would be able to play right about now. So that would be really useful.
Yeah. So other things that might be big changes. I think how used to seeing derby on Twitch is going to be. I think that's something that's really important. I think the derby community is now sort of getting used to that they can expect that's where it's going to be. One thing I think that I hope starts to happen, and I hope it starts to happen without me being involved in it, because I'm terrible at managing things. But there is, like right now, what's my address for this? Hold on a second here. Speaking of rebranding, something I'm trying to do.
The Pop Culture Co-op is rebranding, which is where that's coming from.
Oh, that's a rebranding. Well, I'll say that like using Twitch for roller derby has got me thinking about Twitch for other things. I'm seriously contemplating doing my a live stream of myself crocheting and or knitting,
Yes.
because who wouldn't want to see that?
Do it. Yeah.
There's a market for
Yeah.
everything. Let's be
There
honest.
is a market for everything.
There
People
is,
want to
and I
watch.
think
It's very calming. Like ASMR is a big thing. I bet you there's like
Yeah.
knitting or crochet ASMR.
I've seen some, and I'm like,
If
I want a
not,
piece of
there's a
that.
need, maybe. Yeah.
Definitely.
Fill that.
The link I just put in
niche.
chat. Before I forget, I completely just walked over you. I'm so
No,
sorry.
go for it.
There's a Derby TV guide that the current streamers are all trying to remember to use. I'm the worst at it.
So cool.
So if you click that link, there's a calendar where you'll find WFTDA, Gotham, NZ's information is there, and my information is there when I'm actually doing something. But I've since removed all my stuff. So, but that's where it will
It's a
be.
fantastic resource. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you're looking for Twitch for Derby, you've got a huge resource right there in the chat. Watch Twitch. I mean, they tell you to watch Derby, and Derby's happening.
Yeah.
Right? It's So if you miss it, like, it's here for you. So let's support these teams who are taking the time to make sure that this is available for everybody to enjoy.
Especially while we're all not, like a good chunk of us aren't able to skate.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I find, and this is again, this is not an opinion. That is, I'm not representing Ham and Hammy here, but I find that there's a lot of the community actually doesn't watch roller derby. They play, but they would rather not watch games. It's just not entertaining for them. That's a large portion. I will say that they're wrong in that because you are going to watch and you are going to learn. So,
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
we
it's
always tell
definitely
people
hard to watch and not do it yourself. Like, it's
Right.
definitely it's difficult. It's there's the jealousy, and then just kind of like, ugh, I wish it were me. So
but why not me?
I know.
I want to
That should be
hit.
me.
I miss hitting.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
too want to play the bench shuffle and like off the chair, scoot 4 chairs down, like, and make for the next lineup. Yeah,
Look
it's-
longingly at the bench coach.
absolutely.
Put me in, boss. Put me in.
Yeah. Or you
I-
see someone do something like in a jam, and it's something that you're really excited about trying, and like you don't get to try it like soon with other people. Like, maybe if you have a skating spot like outside or in your apartment, you can try some small things, but you want to put that whole bigger picture together, and then you can't. So
Yeah, but
I feel the same way just about streaming. I watched NZ streaming last week, couple weeks ago, and I was like, I wish I was the one dealing with network issues right now. I miss that. Which is weird because I really don't like that's sort of a pain in the neck, but that sort of in the moment, coming up with solutions and trying to make something happen in a location where it kind of doesn't or it shouldn't be able to be done.
yeah.
I miss that.
I mean, I'm also really excited about like the fact, like the community that I've gotten through the Twitch, the Derby Twitch. Like, people talk about Derby Twitter, and like I'm on Derby Twitter too because I'm extremely online, which just means that I am single. I'm just on the internet a lot. I have that free time just sitting there. And I just have to say that, like, the community building through Twitch has been just outstanding. I mean, I think a lot of the things I was afraid I was going to lose, and sure, I lost parts of it during this period of time, has been so different and like so supportive. I never was like one for those like internet friendships, and like now I feel like I have all these friends all over the world. I can't wait until it's safe to travel and I get my ass over to Australia or New Zealand and get to meet some of these people in person. And I've never been. I'm excited. And Bobby his choir just released another recording tonight, Poetry by Langston Hughes. And there's a video in the chat, so make sure you check that out. We had Bobby on a while ago where we watched some of his choir perform. So high key recommend you take a look at that
I
YouTube.
think Bobby's been on 3 times, 2
Yeah,
times.
Bob. He's been on more than once. He's great. please, he's one of our, he's our head announcer. He's a star.
That's right.
But make sure you check him out.
You hear that voice and you're like, oh, I know this voice. Yeah. I remember not knowing, kind of just recognizing his voice from a lot of tournaments that I watch and be like, oh, what? Here? Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Have a famous, a Derby famous voice.
Bullshit. I would love to come to Sydney and skate with you. I would love to come to, I've never been to Australia. I've never been that far away from home.
I have missed Bobby, but feel very fortunate that I was able to work with Bobby at Battle of the All-Stars at the one tournament that I was able to do last year.
Bobby's a pro.
You know, this is why I started streaming my old games again, was just because I missed the people that I should have been in tournaments with, you know, and wasn't. That was the big selfish reason, was just to hang out with people in chat.
I mean, that's why we all do it, really.
Maybe we watch the game, maybe we don't, you know. Maybe we just make dumb jokes about things.
I mean,
which is a great plug for Gotham After Dark.
Make sure you watch Gotham. I have to admit, I've only ever watched Gotham After Dark 1 because I sleep.
What?
I sleep. I rewatch later. I occasionally turn it on after, like, in the morning. But, like, I don't watch, like, any of the late television shows either because I sleep.
I try so hard. I'm like, I'm gonna watch GT the best, and then I watch it later.
Your girl's got a chronic illness, and we have tiredness as part of the chronic illness.
Let's get those fish up in chat.
Let's get those fish in the chat. Let's get that support. So you all need to do it because I can't stay awake that long. I've tried a few times where I'm like, I'm gonna set an alarm and wake up for Gotham After Dark.
It's such an eclectic group of people, you know, and you're right, like I kind of can't wait to meet some of these people in real life when that becomes becomes an opportunity.
We gotta have a meet and greet.
Yeah, I just, you know, there's like the same like 15 to 20 people who show up, you know, at when the clock strikes midnight. And you know, we just goof off for an hour and a half.
The times I watch
Twitch meetup at RollerCon is going to be amazing. So
yes,
it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
when everyone pulls out their fish pen and fishes in a fountain, and it's going to be a thing of beauty. I need to get a
new one.
Can I be adjacent to the fish pen group, because I feel like I know what it's about. We've done the record. I was the one who timed people putting fish pens together.
Yeah.
I don't think I can't. I can't get to midnight.
I'm sorry, Hammy.
It's okay.
I really want someone to set up a fish pen stand at RollerCon in the Vendors Village.
I like how we were planning for this RollerCon in 2022, and
I'm planning.
We're gonna I feel like we're just gonna take over RollerCon.
All of my life savings I'm gonna put into my fish pen booth.
It's, you know.
If Gotham doesn't have fish pen merch, what's the point?
Right. You can buy them in bulk.
Banger?
Buy them in bulk.
Or Mighty, I think, is in charge of merch now.
You just buy them in bulk and you put a sticker on the side of it. And
perfect. That's the dream. That's my favorite. I love silly merch. I buy silly merch.
I think, I actually think that the silly fish pen would be the number one selling item.
Oh, 100%. At least all of us would get it. But I also feel like people would be like, that is just such a weird thing and we don't get it, but we want to be in on the joke that we don't understand.
I want 5.
It is perfect for
Gotham is selling this, and people like Gotham because we've been around for a minute. And so I've worked a Gotham merch booth, and it is a busy, busy event.
One, also, I just think, I don't know, when I think about the fish pen, my only regret is that my dad is not alive to get one in his stocking at Christmas, because I'm like, my dad would have loved the fish pen. So, yeah, I just love, I see them, and I'm like, that is so silly, but they just make me smile.
Absurd. It's absurd. I only wish that the available fish pens were the ones that are advertised. These are functionally identical. The reel is different. So like,
Yes.
I'm still kind of scouring eBay for like,
For
you know,
genuine fish pens.
a genuine fish pen,
Yeah.
and I think I'll find it. I have seen them, and sometimes they go for a ridiculous amount of money. Like, when I say ridiculous, I mean more than $10 is too much money. You
I
just
mean,
banned the person who asked if we want to become famous.
Yes, I know. I took a power play there. It felt
I
really
want to
powerful and
be
good.
famous.
I mean, I could buy, but you can't buy fame. Ian
course you
Nubis, what 51233.
You can buy fame.
I mean, I guess Angeline bought fame, although she only bought fame in LA apparently because nobody ever knows what I'm talking about.
I know who Angeline is.
Thank
I don't know
you.
why, but I do.
Probably because of me, because I've talked about her a lot lately because I follow her on Instagram and she just has an NFT. Angeline has an NFT.
Wasn't she on Absolutely Fabulous or something?
Oh, absolutely. She's been around since the 70s. Yeah. Angeline is everything. And she bought a bunch of billboards in LA, and that's how she became famous. And being from LA meant that I just like would.
Just like Hollywood Jesus, you know?
It's
like
Hollywood Jesus. It's like it's like the naked cowboy in New York City, but in LA, where you're just like, oh, the pink Corvette's out. We got to go follow it and find Angeline. And
Oh,
it's
so
spelled
I didn't know
with
who
a
you were
Y.
talking about until you said Pink Corvette.
Pink Corvette. She's like real life Barbie. But yeah, she's like everything. And I sent Susie a bunch. She just had a bunch of songs come out on Spotify, and I sent them to Susie for her radio show. And Susie was so excited, and I felt so powerful.
That's so much. So you don't need Ianubis 512.
I don't need it because you can buy fame, but I don't need Ianubis to find fame. I'm a co-host of the Chad and Hammy show.
Exactly. Look at us.
Look at us.
It's interesting to see the differences in regional fame too, because I'm I'm trying to think of like, well, who might be famous that's not really famous, or has brought notoriety, but it's still very regional. And it's a guy named Tipper here in town who lives on the border of Carmel and Herman, and he quite often can be found up on the roof of his house, which is fairly close to the road, stark raving naked, screaming at cars.
Sounds like he is living his best life.
Honestly.
Yeah. The dude is fit because he rides his bicycle everywhere. He's not a bad looking guy. Well,
Showing off his gains.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's got some gains, and he doesn't have running water or electricity. So it's not uncommon as well to see Tipper taking a bath, like in the stream next to the road, and just wave at cars.
That's what streams are for.
He is like hometown hero.
I mean,
Everyone
I didn't
knows
have
that.
a stream in my town, but I had an ocean, and that's not a great place to bathe.
Oh,
Babe.
I would think that
Salt.
it's just salt, and you're never going to get away from that sand.
Exactly.
No.
That's why you can't bathe in the
Sand
ocean.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I think we just lost like 3 viewers.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
even
like,
care.
What is going on?
We do that. We jump around a bunch. I mean, we'll never lose as many viewers as the time we talked about weird food.
Yeah, the weird food one. That was
We watched 8 people go in about 5 seconds. It was such a powerful moment. I've never felt such.
It was the best.
You could hear the in chat. It was really great.
Yeah, we
It was
really
not
could.
good, yeah.
You were talking. It was so great.
I was like, well, I feel the disgust coming off of the chat. I'm like, and that's what I'm here for, folks.
But
That's
talking
the-
about regional heroes, I think it's also worth noting about roller derby, about the people that are famous in places, because coming from LA to New York, obviously like the skaters in LA who you're like, everyone knows these players. And then you move somewhere else and it's like, everyone knows these players. I think that that's pretty like everywhere. That's like a pretty universal, that's the word. An everywhere experience, a universal experience, that idea of regional like fame. But even in our small little sub community, except for Susie Hot Rod, because she was famous everywhere.
Susie. Yeah.
Because when I moved to New York, I knew who Susie Hot Rod was, but I had never heard of anyone else.
that's my favorite thing about streaming small town games. The like the average Saturday night game. Because if I say Nurse Heartless to you, you have no idea who I'm talking about. Bobby probably knows who Nurse Heartless is, and may remember seeing Heartless play for Team Maine. And that's just like this goes back to why it's going to be great to see what happens with Twitch and what teams are able to do with Twitch, because we're going to see that, and we already are with skaters out of New Zealand. We're just on the edge of our seat, watching these people we've never seen before, and I think it's not ridiculous to say that with the accessibility of streaming roller derby on Twitch, that we can make household names out of small town skaters.
I mean, exactly. I think that's one of the most exciting things. But I also think that, like, even if we talk about Gotham, like Ham and I, Ham is an amazing skater. I don't think I'm too shabby myself, not to, I'm not an all-star, but like, I'm all right. I can do stuff. But like, I'm certainly not someone that would be the names attached to roller derby. But we have this place where we get to be the ones to talk, like we get to be the face of this thing where we're talking to people and being a face of I don't know how to I'm losing my brain, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
I think starting this stream together, like I'm in the development team. And working to get onto a home team, and then I'm going to work really hard to be a part of a traveling team. But I think that this really is an opportunity to share the love, and also being able to invite as many people on as frequently as we can. But just letting people know that we really love our skaters and everyone in the league, but like not everyone's a superstar, and that's okay.
Absolutely. And not everybody's going to be on the All-Stars, but that doesn't mean that we can't be hosts of a show where we talk about a sport we love, and we work really hard and we get there over time. Yeah. Like I said, I've been toiling in this, not toiling, because I will say that I've had an upward.
Toiling
is the wrong word, but I do feel like a little witchy for saying it. Like I'm. Cauldron and boil. But I've been around for a long.
Shakespearean of you.
Yeah.
Fuck. I've been around for a long time, and I just made the Traders, the B team, like right when this all happened, and like that was something I never thought would happen. I'm certainly never going to be an all-star, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not my goal. And it's kind of amazing that these opportunities are open to different people and getting to see different people, and we bring like others that don't always get the spotlight, and we get to shine it on all the people that make the leagues run and support them,
Right.
like you, Chad, but also, we had cheerleaders on, we have our rec skaters on, announcers, and it's great.
That is an opportunity for anybody who's going to be streaming. I'm really guilty of only showing the action on the track. I never ask my camera operators, can you pan the crowd for me? Can you get a shot of this? I just don't do that. I get, there's too much going on, and I focus very much. Okay, hold on.
The chat is blowing up.
That's right. We've got demands here.
It's blowing up. Everyone wants to see.
We have to see the dog. Look at this amazing puppers. We're giving props to Hudson Valley Horrors and Ithaca because of doing calls for D3 in a local rink where you have to get rides, which is I've played in that rink, and it's really fun.
I want to see streamers start. I want to see the venue, right? I want to know what's the venue look like when there's a stop and play. Give me a close up of the track. Show me what the floor looks like. Like I think there's opportunity for more of these little things that we've all been starving for. So when people get streaming again, I hope that that's something that we can incorporate.
We'll take notes.
I'm seeing a lot of really great skate outs from New Zealand, and skating out to the camera and doing the introductions that way. That is something I really want to see. I'm sorry he's so he's just being really sleepy over there.
Oh, I get it. My cat
I mean,
is
it's a
literally.
whole mood.
Hold on, I think I can do this. My cat is sleeping behind me
Aww.
because I set up a little chair for her because she has to have the little chair. So Lily just sits there all day while I work on her little chair and just
Oh, look at that.
sleeps and is so cute. And then I touch her beans and then she gets mad at me. Yeah, like a video. I would love to show video of how hard we and the volunteers work to set up. Sorry, this is a terrible view as I'm putting my camera back. I would love to show how hard we work to set up the rink. Because I'm assuming, and I don't know how New Zealand sets it up, but at Gotham when we play, we have to set up every piece of that sport court.
Yeah, under floor, then sport court.
Watching the setup and tear down of the games is such a piece of the puzzle of volunteers and hard work and literal blood, sweat, and tears.
Smushed fingers.
When the National Women's Hockey League was doing their
They were so good.
streaming on Twitch, which, by the way, anybody else who's interested in streaming, that was the standard for sports broadcast as far as I'm concerned on Twitch. It was beautiful.
Great. I don't even watch that, and I watched that.
It was great. One thing that they did that I did not ever think of doing before, but I'm definitely going to now, even if the venue is kind of boring, establishing shots from outside of the venue when you go back into coming in from halftime. I want that that establishing shot or that crowd shot when we go back in. So that's the thing I'm going to add.
Yeah, I think that's great. Just showing the sheer quantity of people, the excitement of people. I mean, the Gotham games that are so fun, and I know that these are in the after dark sometimes, is when you, especially for the skaters who are skating at a home team game, when we show up to a game, we have to walk past a line of people who are waiting outside of the game to get let in. And if there is not an excitement when you have your skates on your bag, walking past 100 people waiting in line outside, where you're I've never felt more hot shit.
Well, that's what I'm skating for, right? That's my goal. I want to make a home team, so this is what I'm working for. But also when the teams are being announced and they're calling the numbers and everything like that, and you guys are doing the skate, I'm I want that. That's I want a piece of that. So that's what I'm working for.
It's and that was what I worked for. And look at this pup. Look at this puppy. And of course,
talk about what's really important, the dog.
Yeah. And of course, Chance the Napper is somewhere else.
Chances? Oh, is she? She's here.
Chance the Napper.
Oh,
she's here. She's what?
I wish I could put my dog in my lap.
Is happening? She's what is happening right now? Oh, my baby girl. Yeah, so I had her on a chair next to me because she just gets she doesn't want me, but she wants me.
Is that I'm smart, but I'm dumb?
Yeah, she's I don't really want to hang out with you, but also please let me sit on your lap.
Yes, B-roll.
Is this wearing a coat? This little dog have a coat on?
Yeah, she's got a sweater on.
Oh, look at this.
We need to sell Gotham dog coats.
We do. Well, I put her in a little Gotham bandana, and it was the best.
I wonder if I could get Lily in a bandana.
Too, she loves the people. Yeah, she's.
I'm still really sad because I got to finally do an in-person moment with Ham in the first time since all this started, where we had Passover together.
It was amazing.
It was great, and I was so lovely to be invited by. But Chance the Napper was having a play date somewhere else, and I didn't get to meet this puppy, and I was so sad because I thought I was going to get some dog time.
You will next time. She'll be here. I'll put her in her Gotham outfit.
Bobby, yes, I could put Rue in my lap if I had a crane. Yeah, sometimes when Rue tries to get in my lap, if he needs to go outside, he's pretty adamant about it and will make his presence known.
New Zealand has venues that have painted on tracks. My goodness, that support.
So fancy. That is fancy.
That is That is so
That's
fancy.
the dream, right? That's the dream. And when you have a venue that wants you there so bad that they will paint the track on for you.
Yeah, that's well. So when I was in China, we skated on an outdoor ballroom dancing like area, and the owner was nice enough to let us paint our track onto it, which was fantastic. But it was just a very hot day in the sun on marble, painting the track. But it was amazing though. And then in the wintertime, we skated at the gym of the school that I worked in, and we used mouse pads. So we would take our ropes, and we would do the mouse pad track.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never
That's just a way to trip real bad.
right.
Well, the super thin ones, like they were super super thin. Yeah, but that was what we could do.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta work with what you've got.
Yeah.
That's
so
the
it's just
punk
kind of
rock part of roller derby, right? Is like,
That's
I mean,
right.
when I started skating for San Fernando Valley, we skated with like a little painter's tape on a basketball court in the middle of Van Nuys. You just make it
Right.
work.
The things you tell people who own the surface is like, no, the wheels will not damage it. We will.
We
or
will
I
make
know
sure
teams
we
like-
have like clear, like the clear colored toe stops.
Yeah, and taping up the caps on like knee pads or using like Teflon tape, like all of those things. So
Honestly, it's
That's
just the
amazing.
joy of all of the how much duct tape have we all gone through?
I know.
So much duct tape. Well, this has been. I obviously would love to have you back, Chad, because there's so much more to talk to you about roller derby.
I get nothing else going on, so
I mean, same.
I can even make things up. Like you can just give me a topic. I don't mind BSing for 60 minutes.
Well, you pick a topic and you come back. You are
Pick the-
so
you picked
invited.
the right place.
You have.
Correct place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
right,
Ham and I
cool.
are very good at BSing. No,
That's right.
I think this was a really interesting and insightful conversation, especially as we're nearing. I will never say things going back to normal because there's no normal anymore, but things starting to find its way back into
A new normal.
a new normal, a new being in person. And maybe we can take advantage of that and make something change that needed some change. And I just really appreciate all the things you've done and all the support you've given.
Oh, thank you very
I
much.
mean, I would say the
Yeah,
Gotham
you're very
channel as a whole, but also like specifically Ham and I, because it's always nice knowing you're on.
It is. It
I
really
mean,
is.
I'll put the show on, but then I leave the room. Like I just there for that.
That's all we ask for.
Yeah, you're like,
It's
screw
really-
you guys. But
Screw
you
you
know
guys,
what? That's
yeah.
fine. Honestly, if
Or have
anybody's
the
like,
dogs do it. I give them the keyboard. And see what
give
they
us that
think.
view. We're into it. That's support too.
That's I mean that's what I've gotten to with like my family. I'm like, you don't even have to watch. Just put it on.
Yeah.
So that we can have
Put it
that
on
number.
mute. Yeah.
But no, we really
Well, this has been
appreciate it.
fun.
And we
Yeah, I'm
appreciate you
happy to be
joining
here.
us.
Anytime.
And
Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us again. I think I can speak for Hammy when I say we love this time. This is a great part of the week for me, and I love knowing that I'm guaranteed to have some Hammy time. So it's fantastic.
I like making sure I have some ham time. And Chad, your haircut looks great. Thank you so
thank
much
you
for
so
getting
much.
a haircut
Looks
just for
very
us.
nice.
I did this just for the show. I was like, oh wow. I woke up, I saw the message, and I'm like, oh, I panicked.
I was like, this is so nice of you. You were like, oh, this is great timing. I'm getting a haircut. And I was like, oh, just for us.
Yeah, it was totally. Before we go, I just let's get some more of those fish and chat.
Yeah, let's get some more fish pens in
kinda
this
feel
chat.
Like it was a weak effort before.
Yeah, like people really didn't give us. What time this
get
afternoon
some
did you wake
fish.
up? Is a question in the chat.
I actually was up at 11 o'clock this morning, which is pretty early for me, and I sort of regretted being awake that early. But I had other things to do.
It's so interesting how different our schedules are. But if
9 o'clock, my day is just starting. I've got another 9 hours before I'll go
yeah,
to sleep.
where I'm like I woke up at 8:30 woke up at 8 because I normally go on like a walk with a friend every Tuesday and Thursday to a coffee shop, and we take a walk around the park just to like have human contact. And my work email had already blown up by 8:30, and I had to cancel and just work.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
So I was so happy to like get to do this with everybody. I'm just going to keep going for another few minutes while the fish pens are coming because we love the fish pens. And check out Bobby's Choir, as Ham put in the chat.
That's right.
Yes, choir.
But yeah, I don't stay up late, and I don't like to. Here's the thing: I'm not a morning person, but I'm also not a night person. I'm like an 11:30.
Same.
You talk to me at 11:30, and I am at my peak.
Right? I am like sharp, like around
My my like daily stress headache hasn't hit yet. I'm not exhausted yet. Like I'm just awake from the night, like 11:30. That is.
Well, 3 a.m. if you're unable to sleep and you don't know what to do, shoot me a tweet. I'll be awake.
Well, one day that's going to happen just to screw with you. I mean, I did. I was so bored on a hike once that. As a person who does not like hiking or doing those kinds of things, because I found myself bored because that's who I am, I definitely was just chatting with Chad.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm on a hike."
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's in Vermont, right?
Yeah, I was in Vermont on a literal hike, like we did like a 7 or 8 mile hike. And after like 2 hours, I was like, I don't want to be on this hike anymore because I'm not outdoorsy at all. I live in New York City for a reason. And it was like, we were just chatting and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm literally on a hike right now in the middle of the woods.
It's good to have a lifeline.
It's
good to have a lifeline.
Yeah, like I'm in the woods and I don't know. Like, I don't know where I am. I could have gotten that message and I would have tried to help, you know.
And I was
Although
like...
I feel like it would have probably been like, I'm in the woods. It's the woods right next to the parking lot at Costco. Like, it could have been that.
We were doing like the long trail of the Appalachian Trail, like a piece of the long trail, like a very short piece, obviously. But like there wasn't like a goal. I think I just like in roller derby land, I just need a goal.
It's a lot of outside time.
It's a lot of
and it caps at 2 minutes.
Yeah, like if there's trees, I sneeze. Yeah, not all 2,000 miles. Could you freaking? My friend is doing that right now. I am not kidding. He started the full Appalachian Trail. He gave me his plants and he left his apartment and that's what he's doing for quarantine. And like,
wow, through hiking.
Good for him, I guess. But like, I want to sleep indoors.
Did he start at the southern point or? Because no one ever starts up at the top of Mount Katahdin.
I think he's following the weather. I don't know. He's Instagramming it kind of, but mostly it's just pictures of him looking sweaty. Yeah. How do you score goals without a ball? I don't know.
Right.
Thank you, Bolshe. That was a good. Oh, you haven't seen the new hair? Yeah, I am feeling things about it, and that I hope it grows out soon. I cut my own hair and it was too short and weird, and then I got it professionally fixed and now I look like Peppermint Patty, and I'm trying to like make
you're way cuter than Peppermint Patty.
Punk rock a little. I think I make fun of my hair on every single stream right now, but it's just how I feel about
Peppermint
it.
Patty's kind of a style icon though.
It's true. I will say that the
Patty's
people who
iconic.
fixed my hair have similar hair to myself, and so they were able to texture it down so I didn't just have like this, which is what usually happens when I have short hair like this, because I am Jewish and have Russian hair that just poofs into a circle. It's not curly.
Body.
It's not curly. It's just nothing.
It's full of life.
How did we get here?
I don't know. This is what always happens.
Why would I ask that question?
This is what always happens with this show. We do really good, and then I was like, let's kill some time.
That needs to be our tagline.
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
I mean, Chad. Yeah. Oh, because Chad got a haircut.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Chad got a haircut. It looks very good.
We bring it right back.
We brought it right back. Chad got a haircut for us. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Anyhoozle, this was the Ham and let's say this correctly. This was actually the Ham and Hammy show.
That's right. Do not know what we're doing next week, but we'll be here.
We'll be here. If we
got plans.
We have some masks out. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
Maybe Chad will be back. I don't know.
Yeah.
He has an open invite.
Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday I'm free. So
our power of persuasion is strong.
We're so good. So yeah, super appreciate everyone joining us today. And Chad, you're the best, and we love you. And
I'm not surprised.
that is the only response to "we love you" is not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And
for our 100th show, because I can't count.
We've had 600 shows, and we've been on the air weekly for 2 years.
We've been on for 2 years.
Yeah, it's already 6 seasons and a movie time.
Oh,
right.
us in Community just killing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because time means nothing.
What is time? Anywho, we're going to go. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make sure you follow and subscribe and all those fun things that you're supposed to say at the end.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye now. Thanks for having me.